Hello everybody, and we want to welcome you to the first ever episode of Electra Ray
and the Naked Trainer.
Today we have two very special guests, my sister and Glamazon sister Shandy.
Hi guys.
Chandelier Khalo, everybody. And also my gorgeous and trans sister, Christina Gateswood's Tea House Tea. I'm not ready. I have to warm up. Okay. Today we're going to be talking a lot about different gender issues and how we all identify. So let's start off, everybody.
I'm Joseph. I'm the Naked Trainer. I'm a gay man.
I'm Christina, and I'm a transgender woman.
My name's Electra, and my gender story is a little confusing. I guess I would consider myself genderqueer. I have had a history diving into transsexualism. However, I decided that that path was not for me. But I don't necessarily consider myself a gay man either. So I guess I'll leave it up to you guys to decide.
Hi, well, I'm Chandelier Khalo, and I'm also queer. I'm also experiencing some exploration into being trans and transitioning, but also decided that that wasn't necessarily for me, and now I identify as a queer person.
Okay, everybody, so today's segment of Talk the Tea, we're going to be diving into separate issues, including identity. I'm going to go ahead and link down below all the different genders and what that means to that person and to society.
Hey everybody, Naked Trainer here. Today we're here with Christina and my friend Shandy, here representing the transsexual community. So, Christina, can you tell me what you identify as?
I identify as a transgender woman.
And Shandy, how about yourself?
I identify as queer.
Genderqueer. You had told me earlier that you had identified and played with hormones and identified as a transgender girl at one time. Could you tell me about that?
Yeah, of course. I think that naturally in society we're kind of told to fit into these boxes. So I was always kind of in the middle. I grew up like very androgynous, and I started playing with makeup at a very young age.
Effeminate.
Yeah, very
obvious.
Very obvious. But also I had some masculine parts about my personality. You know, as I grew older, I feel like once I got into drag, people kind of started pushing me to kind of fit in a box, whether it be the boy box or the woman box. And for me, as a feminine person, it was easier for me to fit into being a woman. So I just assumed I'm like, maybe they're right, like maybe I'm a trans woman, you know?
Okay.
So I started experimenting with that, and it's not necessarily that I didn't feel happy with that. I found that I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was looking for acceptance from society as opposed to finding happiness within myself, you know? So trans women, they know that they're women, you know? And I don't know if I ever felt that. It was more, I wanted to be accepted by the masses. Like, I kind of wanted to...
So it was more not something that you wanted to feel in your... So Christina, on the other end of the spectrum, Shandy was saying that she never really felt in her bones like she was a woman from birth. And you, I know, is a different story.
Oh, for me, it's the complete opposite. For me, I always felt like, why do I feel this way? Why is my sister getting this beautiful dress or this beautiful pink whatever, and I'm getting this blue pants? And you know, like, I knew it in my bones. It was always just something that you just knew. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it was just there always.
And how did your family respond to that growing up? Were they supportive of you? Did they try everything to make you conform to what they thought that you should be?
Well, it's a little of both, because when I lived with my father, with my grandfather, I already showed signs of wanting to be feminine or girly or what. I would let my hair grow, and it would be a struggle because he would like try to cut my hair or try to make me conform to whatever I was supposed to be. But once I transitioned, it was pretty much like almost everybody knew. Like, it wasn't a shock, it wasn't a surprise. It was just like, oh, yeah, here we go.
So you'd say like an easier transition.
Yes, pretty much.
Shandy, how about you growing up in?
Well, I grew up in a very macho environment. So my dad was born and raised in like deep Mexico, and he owned a like body shop where he would hammer at things all day.
So that sounds like a lot of fun. And like my kind of draw.
My dad passed when I was 10, and then from then on, I grew up with a house full of women. So it was my mom, my sister, my other sister, and I think that for them, like I said, I was always that boy that was pretty feminine, you know. So when I eventually came out, they were kind of like,
they already knew.
Yeah, we already knew that, like, you know. And it's interesting because once I started doing drag, it was also not surprising to them because they were just kind of like, okay, like this is just his expression, like this is how he carries himself, and it, like, to him it's an art, you know. Because for me, drag has been an art, and it's a way of kind of celebrating femininity and celebrating women. So I've really taken this persona of trying to celebrate what I see in my mom and my sisters. So they've been really accepting of me. I don't really have much extended family, so I don't really talk to any of them. But as far as everybody who matters, like, they were all cool with it.
Oh, very awesome. I know you're very political, Miss Shanji. Tell the world about your protest for Ted Cruz getting him to come to El Paso, in which he eventually chose not to come to El Paso. And I'm hoping it's because of this bitch here. Tell us about that.
So for anybody who doesn't know, Ted Cruz is the current senator for Texas. He's extremely conservative, as are most politicians in Texas. When I heard he was coming to El Paso, it rubbed me the wrong way because I know a lot of he stands firmly against a lot of things, such as trans women using women's restrooms, such as protecting gay people from being able to be fired at their job on the basis of their sexual orientation, such as taking the right of women to be able to get health care and get safe and healthy abortions, as opposed to having to do it the back alleyway, you know what I mean? Because the truth is, those kinds of issues, people are going to do what they want to do with their body. We just have to make sure that they do it the safe way. And when I heard Ted Cruz was coming here, it offended me because we have such a beautiful transnational community where we celebrate immigrants, where we celebrate dreamers who are here on DACA, where we celebrate our queer community. We have a pretty liberal and intersectional community of a lot of different kinds of people. So for him to come to El Paso and kind of spew out the hatred, like spew that hatred that he shares on the TV all the time.
We're not about that, are we?
Not at all. So I felt like I needed to do something, and I decided to plan a protest, and within 24 hours it had over 160 shares, and I don't know, we were ready for tomorrow, and we were ready to meet him and hold him accountable for not standing for everybody in Texas, and he decided to cancel his trip here.
Good.
So.
That's awesome, Shanji.
Thank you.
Hello everybody, and welcome back. We're here with Christina and Shandy, and we're going to continue our round of questions. So today, ladies, I wanted to talk about sex and dating as a transgender queer person. Go ahead and start us off, Shandy.
Okay, so I think that I was never really a dater when I was younger. You know what I mean? I was always that weird kid at school, so I just never dated. So I didn't date until after high school, and since I did go through that phase in my life where I was certain that I wanted to transition, I started dating generally straight men who identified as straight, and that's kind of what I wanted, because I kind of wanted somebody who would kind of take on the masculine role and kind of just, you know, take care of me, and that's what I enjoyed. You know,
we like the straight ones, guys.
When I stopped transitioning, it just kind of it changed for me, because I realized that by being kind of obsessed with this hyper masculinity, I was feeding into like the same problems that kind of put me in a box to begin with. So I started kind of just going out of my way to kind of dismantle these ideas that I thought I needed to have. You know, like, oh, I have to date somebody masculine because I'm feminine. Or I need somebody who's a little bit macho because I'm a little bit on the daintier side. Like, I'm real, like, you know, like, she's a drag queen, like, you know? Mm-hmm. So, I kind of, when I stopped really caring about those kinds of things is when things have kind of turned around for me, you know? So, like, now I try to just date people who see me as a person as opposed to seeing me as, oh, well, I like him because he dresses in women's clothes. Yeah. Or I like him because blah, blah, blah. Or I don't like him because he dresses in women's clothes, you know? Like, because at the end of the day, for me, drag is a character, you know? So I'm a queer person who is very fluid, and sometimes I am a lot more feminine and sometimes a lot more masculine, you know? But I don't really have interest in anybody who sees me as an object of desire simply on the basis of my femininity or on the basis of my masculinity. Like, I kind of just want somebody who will like me because they like me.
And you know what? It's funny because I identify you so much in that aspect because me, myself, I do tend to go ahead and, you know, chase the straight guys, and the straight guys are the ones I go for, and I do tend to search for that masculinity and that I do not find in myself. But I think I should take a page from your book and start, you know, maybe trying to date somebody that isn't so focused on just my femininity when I'm dressed up, but as opposed to me as a person. So I'm definitely going to take a cue from your book because I think that's great, and I definitely think that's something that I need to start doing. Christina, what do you think?
Well,
how has dating been for you?
Well, dating is not the easiest, I guess, as a trans woman. It's some guys, they love to be with trans girls, but it's like behind closed doors. And I mean, and I haven't really had much luck dating, so.
Can you tell us about a recent experience that you've had?
Well, I was with a guy for over a year, and our relationship was just a mess. Like, we moved out of Texas together, and we just would fight all the time, and he had the cops called on me. And the funny thing is that he would always, like, make fun of things like, oh, you're just a tranny, I'm straight, I don't know what I'm doing with you. And he had some lawyer represent him doing pro bono work for LGBTQ people. So the straight guy got the LGBTQ free representation, and the transgender person, the real LGBTQ person in this scenario, was like, no, thank you, we can't help you. So I don't know, dating is not fun or easy for trans women. It's like, sex is very easy to find. Like, if you're looking for sex as a trans woman, you're gonna find a lot of sex, like, anywhere. But
trust us, we've had a good share.
But dating is not so easy. Dating is a little harder. And you have to find men who are comfortable with themselves and who aren't concerned what people might think or say or what they may be called or whatever.
So if any of you guys out there are firm in your sexuality and don't care about who you're with, hit us up. We'll be linking our profiles down below in the comments section, and we hope we find some cuties out there, okay guys?
Everyone, so Shanji has to go now. She's being a little bit of a party pooper, but we love Shanji anyway.
Thank you guys for having me.
Shandy.
Why do I call you Shanji?
Sorry, Chandelier, we keep mixing you up, girl. But we want to
Shandy and
for the publicity.
We want to tag you in the video, girl. Let's just be honest. But we want to go ahead and thank you, Chandelier Khalo, for coming and joining us on our very first episode. We just finished filming, guys, and we want to thank both of our special guests, Chandelier Khalo and Christina. Thank you guys so much, and tune in next time.
Thank you guys.
Oh, hold on. You want
me to do it?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, I have size 14 feet, girl.
Okay.
Oh, it's recording. Okay.
We're live.
Hello, everybody. We're back with our very special guests, Christina and Shanji. Shandy, let's start over. Oh, no, it's okay. It's recording. Okay.
I said Shanji too.
Girl, I was like, Shangela. Shandy. Girl, the bloopers, girl. The bloopers.
The bloopers.
Right, keep